welcome back to Oakley Hour. So today we will be doing the Moomin 74 house build, Moomin House, and we will be finishing this wall, and I can tell you, I believe I know where this is going to go, by the way, but we will be finishing the top floor. They say second, I think we would say third in UK, so first, second, third. We will also be making drawers and painting these to put into the dressing table for the guest room. So, as an idea of where I think, and I could be wrong, I think it's going here. I think this is the first wall we've built, so it's going to have 3 windows because I can see the frames here, and it's the one above the little watering can which pulls out the drawer. I've been thinking about how I can video the house for you guys, and that's still a work in progress, but I'll also show you probably the moonings that I have at the same time, so that you have an idea. I might very well do it. I've got 74 and 75 to do in these sessions. Then I'm on to a different model, but I might very well do the mooning house in how far I've got with the lighting before that. So watch this space on that. So let's get everything together of what we're going to need. So we will be needing, let me put this up on my little board here so I know what I'm doing. So I have issues all the way up to 90 to do, so pretty far along in the build, but we will get there. So let's see, so we will be needing this, we will be needing the wall, which I've actually got on the house at the moment, so I will get that off in a little bit. Well, I normally do this first so you don't have all that noise, but hey, I did not. So the first things I'm going to do are get these out, and I'm going to get the drawer out as well, because these need painting and I want it to have a chance to dry, so I'll probably do those first. And it looks like we've got more of those, so I'm going to pop that with the stick that we had from last time, but they give me another one anyway. So now I've got 2 of them, and we will put these in here. I'll cut them into there, and these are the little handles for the drawer. I'm just going to put them in there so that they are safe. Alright, so let me make a start on the drawer first, and then we will get back to the wood parts in a moment. Let's get all that out of the way. Okay, first things first, we are going to need to cut these out. Like I said before, you want to do a bit from one side, turn it over, and do a bit from the other side. Just bear with me, my cut needs to go out. Okay, right, so where were we? So just a little bit on each side here. Then we're going to paint it all up, inside and out for the drawers, and then I'm going to put it together after the event. So just make sure that these are all the way through, and that one's nicely done. That one not quite so much. What was that one? That one is. Okay, so let's see if we can get them out without too much damage. There we go. Let's poke them all out. Make sure you sand them down. I'm going to do that now. And then from there we can get them painted, and I'm just going to paint them as I did before using the acrylic brushes that I have here, and continue it to match the dressing table, which I'm actually quite happy with. Get that out of the way. A little bit more, and a bit more still. And like I said, the nice thing about the pens is they're not going to make all the inside of the, it's not going to gobble up with glue with paint, so it should mean that the drawers will slide in a lot better and not get caught. I know when I've done it with paint before, it has got caught if I've done the drawer runners on here, but with the brushes you can kind of do that and get away with it. And a bit more on this one. Alright, so all we do, very straightforward, and I'll start on the drawers because they take the longest, because they've got that like for micro stuff. I have a fine brush side if I can get it off. Oh, there we go. And all I do is go over the edge like this, and because it's the like Formica side, it does tend to it takes a few coats for it to stick. Alright, let me get on and do that, and I'll be back. Right, all I ended up doing actually was I got this equipment out and I stuck each piece on here on the crocodile, turned it around, and they're going to go to one side now to dry and wait for a second coat while I get on with the wooden parts. Alright, so those are drying, put away. I'm going to start this time the opposite of what they say so that they have a time to set. The one with the hole here, number 1, goes at the bottom, and then a number 3 goes on the top. And similar to what we have done in the past, then we use the wood glue, which I don't know what I've done with it. Bear with me. Right, okay, sorry about that, left it in a very odd place for me. So let me get these ones glued. Again, the one at the bottom here has the holes, so I'm going to glue that one. It also has the areas where it's going to attach to the wall with the slots. So this goes at the bottom. Ooh, that's close to the hole there. Don't want it dripping into the hole. Otherwise it interferes when we put those little pieces of wood in. Line them up and clamp them, so like I've done it in the past. Just make sure they're nicely lined up. These seem to line up a bit better than the last lot I did. We have the sun shining on me right now, so I must be very righteous today. Quite happy with that. Maybe a smidgen more that way. Quite happy. Seem to have some dog DNA in there. And that works. And then get another one. I'm using the thermoclamps for this. She says that one made it move. Okay, and then one in the middle. I'm going to put 3 on this. Right, and I'm going to put that to one side for a little bit. And then I'm going to do step 2, which also has a 3 on top of it. And for this one, let me see which goes first on top of which. 2 will go on top of 3 this time. So we are just measuring up these clamps, these holes rather, and I am going to put the glue on number 2 so it doesn't go into these areas. And you can see here there's a big slot and a very small slot, which is, I just checked the house to make sure that I did get the right wall, but I'm pretty sure where I said above the watering can is where this one's going to be going. And then join these up, and that can also be sitting to one side while we get on with the wall. I mean, it won't be long till we need these, but gives it a moment. And again, just make sure it's all lined up properly. And clamp them together if you have clamps. And if not, you can probably just sit and hold them. I don't have many of the big clamps with me actually. I need to go grab them. They are sitting on another project right now. Okay. I also noticed that the attic floor, which I haven't attached, but it actually is bigger than the house, so that will be interesting as to, I guess it's got like a little overlap, and then these walls go underneath that floor. but it still attaches to the ceiling of the 3rd floor. Right, those two can go to one side, and we will start on these. So again, we are going to have the shorter ones upwards. I'm going to pop these in. I'm going to glue it all at once this time and get those clamps on there. I'm going to take a moment. I haven't had breakfast this morning, so I should probably do that, huh? I like to get these done nice and early. Well, the puppies are all quiet. Puppy is all quiet. Again, you're looking for the letters to face this way, here, that way, and the numbering on here to be facing up towards where it says the short one. It's identical to what we've done in the past, so I'm just going to get these in here. It's quite toasty in my house. Get those in here, all of them, and then get them all clamped in. I have enough clamps here. I'm going to go and rescue the other clamps because I know where they are. I'll leave these a few minutes. These are the not quite so strong ones as the bigger ones, but they still do the job. And because they're not going to be on long, I'm not using any tissue paper or anything. Otherwise, I would be using the greaseproof paper. I need to replace this one. It's getting quite colourful. The one that's under here, it's got some dye on there. It's got all sorts of colouring going on, some from the markers. Alright, so I'm going to just leave that for a little bit, make myself some breakfast, and we will come back to fit the other pieces on that are drying at the top there. Alrighty, so what I think I'm going to do is, because I'm trying to let everything dry as long as possible, is I think what I am going to do, I've given the pieces of wood for the drawer a little bit of an extra coating. I'm just going to put some glue in these parts and get these tiny little pieces of lead or magnet. I think it's probably not lead, anyway, metal of some sort. I'm sure it's not lead. Probably can't do it as lead, really. Did that get banned? I don't know. I know that there was talk about it and things like that, but I don't know if it actually got banned. Let me get my tweezers here and my other tool. So let's get that lined up one at a time, right? Oh, and my other tool is right at the bottom of the stuff that I'm using. Right. Let's get that in. From the other side, you want to probably do, if you're going to use a tool like this, you probably want to do it not from the side which has I don't know what that word is. Anyway, there's not as much wood on there, it'd be easier to break. So you just want to make sure that this is all the way in, and the glue is seeping out here, so, and that's not in totally. Probably don't have as much grip in my hands as I would like right now. Is that one in? No. There we go, finally. Okay, and then next, I'm going to go in a little bit easier than that. Again. Got the sun coming through right now, so that's kind of quite nice. Enough windy though. It almost took my door off the hinges when I let the puppy out. At least she's potty trained. She's teething right now. She keeps losing her teeth, bless her. So I guess she's getting her new ones coming in. I've had a look, it's not like there's loads and loads of blood going. Just bear with me one moment, I think she's got another tooth come out. Hold on. No, she's stopped, she's fine. Just found something to nibble on from the other dogs probably. You have to be so careful with these puppies, don't you, that they don't get up to mischief and things like that. And then when I finish this issue, I will be doing her some training, maybe taking her for a walk. Can't take her far, I can't do it. And she's complaining at me, hold on. Okay, so sorted. That one went in nice and easy. Yep. And last one. And you just want to make sure that they are pretty flat in there, otherwise it's not going to have a good seal on the other piece if they're all poking out. And last one. And then that will be put to one side because it's the last that will go on that frame. And again, that one went in quite easy. Went easier than the other side. There we go. Make sure that's all clear. Make sure I could do with a little bit more of a push. Just don't want to damage the wood, you know. This should be fine. Fine. And beeping is my dishwasher finished. But the washing machine's on the way, so it'll probably be taken off soon because it gets really loud. Alright, going to put this to one side. All that's left in here is the handles for the drawer, which I'll be doing last. So let's get back to these. Put those sticks in there actually. So we've got 2 here. We want the numbers pointing upwards. This has had quite a bit of time now to settle. And the first one we are going to do is actually towards the bottom, and that's the one with the holes on it. So let me get the right piece. It's not that one, it's going to be this one, and this is going to go at the bottom here with the holes, which is important, pointed downwards. Oh, this is unlined up. It was all lined up, now it's gone silly on me. So this is the beauty of wood glue, is that you can take it apart, so I'm going to have to do that and restart. Alright, so I ended up using a scalpel to separate it just a little bit, and I'm going to put this on. You want to make sure that those holes are facing downwards, like this. Or do I? Am I going crazy now? Yeah, you want strip 3 pointing upwards. So these go in here, and then I will fasten that side again, because obviously taking it apart means that I had to re-glue, and we will be waiting on that to set it up again. And that's the beauty of wood glue, really. I mean, as I know I say it almost every issue, but when you know, if you make a mistake, then it can be remedied without, hopefully, too much damage. Let's put it that way. And these are being, there we go. Don't know why that was giving me so much hassle, really. And then going to put one on the end here so it does line up again, because it was this side that was having the problem. And it's not going to be on for long because I'm going to be doing those ends. And then put some of the bigger clamps on here for making sure that that's on correctly. And one over here, and the other end I did not take apart. So, and we can see that that had a move. Oh, maybe I've got it opposite. This is the one that went apart. A little bit more glue in here. And I'm going to line it up and put one on here. And take this hard one off this end here, which wasn't really doing anything here. And I don't think it got bowed either. Just trying to get the right angle for it. So I'm not 100% sure why it didn't line up properly. But it didn't, and now I just broke that. Be gentle. And I will also get something just to tidy up. I've got glue seepage on the inside here, and that's where the house will eventually attach, so you don't want that. What me see if I can get that out, and then we will put the other end on. Let that settle. Oh, I'm going to use a purple one. Can't get at it. It's because the clamp's in the way. But nevertheless, I don't want it there. So, right, now to the other end. Hopefully this has dried straighter. I'm not going to have the same problem. And from your view, it's still going to be numbers on the way up, and this is dried perfectly flat. So let me get that in. So it will only need 2 clamps on here, which is good because next we're going to do those sides with the magnets. I'm going to put one of the heavier duty ones on here, make sure it's pushed all the way down. It mixes well, and I don't have any heavier ones with me, so I'm going to put this. My puppy's gone quiet. I need to go and find out what's going on. It's like looking after a baby, I tell you. And she was fine. She was found a piece of sun. Always worrying when they go quiet, isn't it? Right, so all the numbers are pointing in the right direction. I think you can see that. And now we're going to put the ends on the magnets, which you want pointing outwards, and the right one on the right end. So this will go on here like so. Let's get that, let's cover that up better. Right, let's get some glue on here. This will also need clamps. I can hear she's getting into mischief. I think it's pretty safe out there. Making her way into she's found my hallway, and which is like a new area, I guess, for her. So she's very inquisitive as to what's going down. Not 100% sure I'm going to have enough clamps here. Anyway, make sure that this is going out. I have glued both of them because, like I say, wood glue does take a moment to dry. Make sure that they are lined up before you clamp them down and in as far as they will go. And this is exactly where it goes, like this. I'm going to clamp this bottom as I get my hands all in the glue. That is not going to help things. I'm going to clamp this top one first, actually, to make sure it's in the right spot. And then we get the bottom ones lined up, I think, as well. Sorry, now my washing machine's starting to take off. Let me pause so that finishes. I'm just going to clamp this side anyway. Alright, I think that's finished for a moment taking off. So what I'm now going to do, got all that one clamped up, is put this one in exactly the same. Just make sure it all marries up and then get it all clamped. And I will be back with the drawer next. So I'm going to get this clamped, put one side, and then you can see that me unclamping it and putting it together with the other stuff that we did in the last 2 issues. Alright, and welcome back. So let's get on and do the drawer. Z with an S, not one. So some part works, you have to build the whole drawer. With this one, and it comes with at least some of it done. So they suggest putting in the little handles, which we have, after it's put together. However, because I kind of do things a little bit my way, sometimes they work out, and what shall I say, sometimes they don't. But in this case, long as you have them round the right way, so you've got a slight distance from let me show you, from here to here compared to there, and you want it facing this way for the handle to drape down. So that's what I'm going to do on those, and then I will get them all together. So let's tip those out, get that out of the way. I'm going to hold this in with B7000, which I put safe. And what I'm actually going to do is put them in first and then glue it from the underside. So like I say, make sure that the biggest gap is going towards, or the biggest, not gap, but the biggest wood section is going towards the bottom, so that you can put your handles in like this. I'm just seeing if there's a difference inside, because one of them was formicaed. That's the formicaed side, I think. Maybe it makes any difference. It actually looks the same. I know when I did that other piece, the chair, the formicaed side was a lot more shiny than these little pieces. I'm having trouble putting this in, actually, even with tweezers. Oh yay. It can't be that hard. Oh, and that's what she said. And if you've ever watched The Office, you understand that reference. Right, and struggling away. Struggling, struggling, struggling. Patience, right? Oi, come back. And this is when tweezers do become a problem, is because they can ping things, which is what happened when I put that mirror on yesterday. I thought I had it, guys. I was all excited then. I thought I had it. Right, I am gonna do this off camera because I might lose my patience with it, and as much as I make this that it's not suitable for children, just in case I swear away, let's not put that into the put that out there in the world, right? All right, so those aren't easy to push in. I've got one in that I'd come back and show you what I'm going to do. It's not totally in even then. Let me get this in here. Like I say, it's kind of a bit harder than I anticipated. Now it's going in fine. Alright, and all I'm going to do is put a little bit of glue on the back here, let that dry, probably touch this up because it's all scratched up now. Which I thought I cleaned this yesterday. I guess I didn't clean it enough. And I'm going to put those in like that, and that can sit there and do its thing. Take some of that off. I'm going to get the other one on, get that one glued on, give it a moment to set up, and get them painted over, and get my glue sorted out as well. Alright, so while we allow a moment for those drawers to set, I am going to start making them. Like I say, those handles weren't easy to put in. I could only imagine that if I'd left it till the drawers were made and put them in then, I probably would have had some breakages in reality, so I'm glad I did it while it was flat. So first of all, we are going to put these little pieces in, which are the back of the drawer, and that will give that a moment for the Aquila brush repairs to dry, and that little bit of glue that I put in. So all you want to do is put it through the back like so. I'll line everything up, which it isn't right now, but it will be. And easiest way to line it up, push it down in every direction you can think of, and clear away this. And again, this looks like it's going to need a little touch up. Maybe it's because I didn't let it sorry, washing machine again, bear with me. I'm going to clean off the glue on that anyway and make the other one. Okay, that's had a few minutes. So then all we have to do is put the drawer fronts on, and you want to make sure that your handles are pointing downwards, like so, like this. So it's going to go downwards like this, and then just attach it. Like I say, I personally find that the easier way to put handles on is to just do it while it's flat, especially if I have to do as much force as I had to do with this one. And then put these in, and we will let that dry for a few moments, and then we'll be able to see it all together. And while that's drying, let's line that up nicely. I'm going to put that to one side up there, just as I move it and it becomes unaligned. Wait, stay there. This is why a lot of people, I think, with the smaller parts like this do use super glue. I make mistakes, so I know my errors. I don't think I put super glue at the bottom of the last one, but this one's having it. And had spinning glue. You know, if you have spinning lemons, evidently it's meant to show that they are fresher. But that was glue. Not quite the same thing. Right, putting that to one side. Right, we will get on with attaching the two sides of the wall. So before I actually get the wall pieces back here, because they take up quite a lot of room now, I am going to get my pieces of wood. I'm going to use the one from last time and do roughly the same sort of size when I find my ruler, which is here. Oh, can't find it. I thought I had everything ready. And it was 0.8. Do hold the end of it. Like I said, they supplied more, even though they said hold on to it. They did supply more. I guess they assume people don't read that. And roughly, just break it with. Can I use that one? Probably. It did actually split. So let's try that again. I can see that split. I'm going to use the other end, because that end of that looks like it's just damaged, really. Would be good if you could see what I was doing, I guess. 1.8 centimeters is roughly about here, and I found it easier to use this. I'm sure you can. Okay, that one's disappeared. I'm sure I'll find it, and we'll just use it for the next wall. When I do, just hold on to it in my little pot of bits and pieces. I mean, that's the thing, when you do this sort of build, you end up with pots of bits and pieces. Alright, so those, oh yeah, that was a bit of crap. Right, let me get rid of that stick, put these somewhere safe-ish that I can see. Near there we go. Get rid of these. Right, so I have brought in the one that I did before, so it's got the two combined. I have measured this against the house to make sure that it's lining nicely, and I'm going to put in these ones here and here, and I'm going to put them into here first. So I'm just going to put a little bit of wood glue in the hole, look how they look, and then I will trim them. Because you want them going in the other part for sure. It helps with a little bit extra stability, but you're also going to be gluing the parts together, so, and it's not like this is going to be a weight bearing wall here, so it's how much you really want to put on there. Right, so let's get each one and just push them in the holes here, and then I'll turn it upside down and put it on its end to make sure. And I'm not going to wipe the glue out because this is the one that got a bit broke, so fortunately it's going in the middle. That was kind of handy. It was a bit wobbly, and it doesn't matter if the glue seeps out because we're going to be putting it onto another piece anyway. And I can see just by pressing down on these that this one is a little long, so I'm going to give that a little trim. Go back in to about here. I guess. And that will ping all over the place. Tell you, I find wood all over the place from half these models that I do. And I'm sure I could put my fingers on the other end and stop it doing that, but right. And then all I have to do, hopefully before that glue dries and makes it impossible, is take all these clamps off the one I did today. Just a lot of clamps, and stick the two pieces together, which have the holes in the bottom. I'll show you the pattern you're looking for on this very first wall that we are doing. So basically you have on here the smaller one of the two ends, so you've got a larger one and a smaller. Here you've got the very small one towards the top, and this one is combining with the top, and I'm just going to test fit this first to make sure it will lie flat, especially if I can get them in. And those do line up nicely. So I am going to put glue, this one stayed in the other side. I am going to put glue all the way along the edge of, I'm just going to use the new one that I did, but it doesn't really matter which one you do. Put a little bit in there. And you probably don't need quite as much as I'm using, but hey, you want it to be strong too. So again, just line it up, press it together. Doesn't matter so much if it oozes, because at the end of the day you are going to be covering that up, which isn't going to be the next issue. It's actually going to be a few ahead. And I lost my piece of wood. It's not in either end, so as we've got plenty of this, I'm going to use a new piece because that one fell out, and I'm going to do a bit of guesswork on the size here. Guesswork sometimes pays, sometimes doesn't. It's already glued, so hopefully it's the right size. And we can get that in. This is where I find the other one still in the hole or something. Which it actually might be. I can see it is. There we go. That's where the other one went. And this is going to need a clamp to clamp both of these sides together. And I see what it did. What it did was it actually went through to the other side of the new one that I did. And then I will actually put this on the house so it makes sure it stays in the right position as well. And you can see these just don't want to really stay together. Come on, here we go. There we go. Okay. Push this to make sure that that's lined up properly, because it didn't look like it was to me. And I'm going to use the bigger clamps because it's got a little bit more pressure, like a lot, because I struggle with them. And then one in the middle. I'll do that from this side, and I'm going to leave that for a few minutes, and then when I finish this video I will actually attach it to the house. And you can see how big this has now got. I can't actually fit it all on the camera right now, which is why my photographing of the actual Moomin House will be interesting. So when I do get to do it, and I hope to do it when I finish issue number 75, because I'm 3/4 of the way, well, almost 3/4 of the way through the build, so this will make it done. But like I say, just make sure that it's pointing the right way, so that then the top looks like this and the bottom will look like that, that you won't have any holes in them, like in little holes to put the rivets in. And that looks pretty good. Just making sure that this stays together properly. Right, let me put that to one side. And by now the drawers should be good enough, and we will put them in the right way, and they should nicely fit in here like so. There you go. Well, that's pretty good. Your point of view. Let's maybe have that a bit straighter, but you can see that that's looks alright, and then when it totally dries it should be absolutely fine. I'm just going to probably give it a little coat, little touch of paint every now and then, but I don't know that it needs it, and I'm just going to hold these out for a little bit, the drawers, just to make sure that they're dry, but I'm going to keep it all together like so. Alrighty, so that is all for this issue. Next issue, you would think we would start the new walls, but we are not. We will be starting on the windows. We do not start covering the walls with the blue until issue, I want to say 88, something like that. 88 I think is it. Anyway, with this one we're doing this wall, which you can't see very well. It has 3 windows, and we are going to be building 2. And I believe this will be for, well, you can see actually down here the watering can. This is the wall we're working on. So one has this triangle shape at the top and one has an arch. So we're going to be doing those 2 walls for the first wall that we are building. I know it's going to involve some painting on the inside of here where the window sills are, and these ones aren't, when I did the doll's house they were kind of just clicked together. These aren't like that. These are quite a bit more detailed, so that's what we are going to be doing in 75. So please feel free to comment or send an email at opallyhour@outlook.com, and I will try and get back to you as soon as possible. If you and please click like and subscribe so that you can get notified of when the new builds are coming in. After issue 75 then I will be taking a break to do another model for a few days, and then we will come back to for number 76 to 80, and another 10 after that, and we would have caught up, and I think I only have 4 more deliveries left. I'm probably going to take up doing the Snoopy house build after this one's finished. You have to kind of do these within your budget, so that's what I'm likely to do. I might very well be, because somebody wants me to do it for them, the Alien build, which you get 8 issues a month at the moment is the way they're doing it, or you can buy them all. Well, yeah, I don't think the person's willing to pay that sort of money all in one go anyway. So the Alien build's really big. It will be interesting. It's very different to the other things that I've done on, but it is a part works, and I do get so much of it delivered a month. So I am thinking about whether I'm going to do that or not. We will, you know, when it concretes up and I know for sure, then we will make sure. Like I say, take care of yourselves, because that is the most important thing, and I will see you again for issue 75. Take care.